In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of harvesting, and I'm going to clean up these two containers here beside me, and I'll talk to you about that as I'm doing it. And I'm also going to be pruning a tomato plant, my bush tomato, around the back of the house. Hi, I'm Robin. Welcome to Robin's Container Garden. I'm going to harvest a cucumber, and I'm going to harvest a courgette, and then I'm going to show you my tomato plants. And then my plan is to hopefully we're going to test the corn and see if it's ready to rock, and we're going to get that harvested if possible, and if not, I'll show you guys how to test it to see if it's ready to go. So here we go. So again, we're doing this one-handed, but look, we've got this lovely cucumber, and I know it's not very fat, but I've had some critters out here trying to eat things, so I'm gonna go ahead and harvest that cucumber, and I'm very happy with it. I know it's really long, isn't it? That would make a really great pickled cucumber, wouldn't it? That was me testing to see if my onions were ready. They are not ready. So, the cucumbers have been really funny this year. Of course, like I said to you before, this is the first time that I've really ever tried them. But you see these gorgeous little male flowers. They're so pretty. And I'm telling you a lie, that is not a male flower, that's a female flower because it's attached to a cucumber. We've got some cucumbers down here. There's one here, and one, what I'll do is I'll use my little cutters as a pointer. We've got one here as well, there. And we've got some ones that don't look so hot. Well, that one I just knocked off, but he was going anyway. He wasn't pollinated. That's the problem I'm having though, is that my my cotton bud is not small enough to get into the male flowers to get the pollen. So they're just, I don't know why they're not getting pollinated, because there's flowers around here and there's all sorts of stuff going on. But, I mean, it needs to be cleaned out. I think there's some stuff going on under there that needs to be sorted. And I believe, look at this. Look at this stupid stinking nettle. How the heck did that get in there? That's not... Ugh. That's really irritating. Anyway, that needs to be taken out for a start, so I'll do that in a minute, but we're gonna get out here and we're gonna clean this up. I'm gonna clean this up today. Okay, y'all know my knees are not great, so I use a little bench when I'm doing work on things like this, so you're not gonna be able to see my face. But the reason I've got these heavy-duty things is because we have a nettle, a nasty, evil nettle, and I need to get that thing out of here so I don't burn myself. I got stung by that by a nettle a few weeks ago. I don't know how the heck this sucker got in here, but it ain't staying. It's coming out, but I gotta find out where the base is. Come on. I think part of it's gone to seed, which means that it's gonna reseed in here some. Ow! Frickers! It got me. Problem about these big gloves is that you can't feel anything. What I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna cut here big stinking thing out of there, and then try to work out where the rest of it is. I see some of it. Oh, this is not easy, is it? There's some other ones here. I can get those out first. Oh, I think they might be attached to the big one. Okay, that one's out. And then there's another one. I'm worried this is gonna be messing with my cucumbers and my sweet peas in here. Okay. There's got to be a better way to do this, but whatever it is, I don't know what it is. Good grief, that's got a hold in there. I may just have to cut that off right at the base and just keep a really close eye on it, because I'm worried that it's going to come up with everything else that's in this container. So let's find where that base is. This is a lot more complicated than I was thinking it was going to be. They normally will pull right out. So crackers. I wonder if I got it. Did I get it? I got that bit. Okay. Ugh. Okay. I think I got the biggest part of it. Yeah, I did get a good sting though. So I'm gonna have to see if I can't find some dock leaves somewhere. Stupid evil things. I hate them so much. There's a sting there and a sting there. I can already see it bubbling up. That's nice. Oh well. Anyway. You know what? I'm gonna go see if I can't find a dock leaf somewhere. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've rubbed dock leaf on there. We'll see if it works. Don't know if it will or not. We shall see. We shall see. So the next thing I'm going to do with this one, there's a few leaves in here that are gone. There's some sweet peas stuff that's in here that's not doing very well. Goodness me. This is a mess in here. Some dead branches that can't be doing the plant any good. So that's going to give it a little air, and hopefully the bees will be able to get in there and pollinate what cucumbers I've got left. So I'm going to swing the camera over here and we're going to do the same thing over here. I don't think we have any nettles in this side. Oh, hello bee. Hello bee. Oh my goodness, I wish you could see the bee. He might fly over here. I'll wait. Yes, do you see him? Yay! Thank you. Okay, so I'll do that real quick. Now here I'm going to try to get this done because my battery's about to die. I'm going to try to cut some of this bad stuff off. There's not actually so much over here as there is in the as there was in the other one, but I'll cut some of these things off. I don't really want that seed to go. What I might do is try to take some of the seed out of those pods and see where we get to. See if we have any viable seed in there. Other than that, I think that's where we're gonna leave it. The rest of it I'll have to do with my mobile because I have run out of battery, I think. So I'll see you in a minute. Though, this is Jaggedy Little Pumpkins. And the funny bit is that they are just now starting to put flowers on in August, at the end of August. So these haven't even bloomed yet, but you can see there's flower buds here and down here. And I know there's grass, but that should not stop it from doing what it needs to do. There's another flower down there. Right there. You can see that one. And I'll take you over to the baby boos as well. Although the baby boos are smaller, their flowers are bigger. That one looks like it's about ready to open. And it's got another few buds on here. And then there's 2 or 3 here. So they're smaller plants, but they actually look like they might bud. Now, don't really think that we're gonna end up with pumpkins, but it's an experiment that I wanted to try. I know people have got their pumpkins all the way up their arch. It just didn't happen here, and I'm not sure why. We've had the weather for it, so I don't know what happened. But next year, I'm already making plans for next year. Next year, beans are going here. So there'll be beans climbing up this arch instead of pumpkins, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the pumpkins yet, so we'll just wait and see. Courgettes. This plant, look how healthy that is. That's amazing. It's such a beautiful courgette plant. It is so sorry about the wind, guys. This courgette here was about that size yesterday. I am still hand pollinating them whenever I can. I'm hoping that that male flower there opens up before this female flower does, so I can get that pollinated. I have a teensy weensy bit of pollen left from one of the other flowers. So worst case scenario, I can do that myself, but I'm hoping that that actually opens up. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna cut. This is a bit of a delicate operation with one hand, so I'm gonna cut this, because I'm harvesting this, by the way, in case you hadn't figured that part out. And then I'll take the rest of it off. I'll just twist it off and drop that flower in there. So that's not bad. We had a really big courgette last night for our dinner in some rice. So that was actually a really good one. These are really tasty courgettes, by the way, in case you wondered. So that's gonna go in here with my wee cucumber. Now this is my Cherry Falls tomato plant. It's a determinate plant, so it's not getting very tall, which is fine. I expected that. But what I've been doing is I've been taking the tomatoes off when they're about that color, because we are like that far from the hedge, and about 67 million house sparrows, and I'm not exaggerating, live in that hedge, and that's just that part. So I don't want to take any chances, and I know that the thought process of putting red baubles on there before the tomatoes get ripe, before the tomatoes get ripe, to get them used to not being able to eat them is a great thought, but with the wind we've been having, they wouldn't stay on the plant. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these. These I don't need the little clippers for. I can just pull these off by hand. There's another one under here. And they ripen in the windowsill really, really well. I think I saw another one over here. Yeah, there's another one. They really do ripen in the windowsill really well. And there's another one, but I think I'm gonna leave him alone. He looks like he could need another day or so. But we're coming, I don't see any new flowers, and I see a little bit of problems that look like, well, the leaves kind of look like they might be getting a touch of blight, but I have seen this all the way through the season, and I've just cut those leaves off, and we kind of go as we go. So what I'm going to do, show you how I get these all cleaned up. And you know what? Looky here. Is that a ripe one? Look, can you see that? Maybe go around the other side. When I was down on that level, I could see one that looked like, yep. It's little, but it's almost ripe. So we'll put that in here as well. So that will stay, and he'll get eaten sooner. So I'll trim. Oh, there's another one in there. There's another one hiding down in there. He's quite a bit bigger than that one. Looky there. There's another one. Hot dog. That's great. So I'll show you a picture of our tomatoes. When I go inside, I'll show you a picture of the tomatoes in the little container. So now we're going to go down and look at some other tomato plants. So this is where the tomatoes go to ripen. Look at all those. They're in different stages. There was actually one that I knocked off when I was doing some pruning a week or so ago, and it was completely green, and that's the one there. And it has ripened, so they will ripen. And there's 3 sun golds that are sitting in there. They're almost ready. There's a rogue sun gold in there somewhere. I'm not gonna say how it happened, Peter, but somehow one of my sun golds ended up with the cherry falls. And so we're waiting on them all to ripen so we know which one is the sun gold, because they're more of an orangey color, and these cherry falls are quite red, so that's what those are. This is my legend tomato plant. Now you can see this sucker right here is a good sized one. And as much as I want to let that one get ripe, or at least start to get ripe, I might actually take that one off and show you my recipe for fried green tomatoes, because that's the perfect size for one of those. So I may do that. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you want to see. And this one is, now let's see, what did we decide? This is the Crimson Crush. So these are a pretty good size as well. These are good sized ones. The other cherry tomatoes here, they called cherry babies. They haven't started to ripen yet, but there's plenty of them on the plant. And then this one, I think this one we decided is the Marglobe. And it's got lots of, and with the rain we've had, they're really going. Now these are the indigo apples. Check that out. Purple tomatoes. How cool is that? They're already purple, as small as they are. And they are going to get bigger. But I'm just amazed at the color and the shape. It's wild. This one I think is the black cherry, and I know these are pretty big for a cherry one, but they've got that kind of the way the leaves are with the branch and the things are coming off. I think this is my black cherry, and this is my Arkansas Traveler, and they're getting big as well. They're getting on up there. Sun Gold still has not performed as well as I was hoping. I'm not gonna give up on it. I'm gonna try it again next year and see how it does. I'm still getting tomatoes from it, don't get me wrong. We're still getting fed from them. So, I mean, they are producing, but they're not producing the way in the quantities that I was hoping. And then the next thing I'm gonna show you is my corn, but I'm gonna have to get my husband to help me with this one, because I've got to test this ear here to see if it's ready to be picked. We have kernels. I verified that the other day, and I'm going to get him to come out here and help me film that, so we'll do that later on. Okay, as I said around the other side when I was working on the cucumbers, there's the method that I was using with the cotton bud to pollinate the courgettes is working a treat, but it's too big to get into the little hole inside the cucumber flower. So I'm going to have to come up with a different option. And when I come up with that, I'll let you know. But I'm also testing out a cover for the microphone, hoping that that's going to keep the wind down out here a little bit. But I'm going to go through here, and you can see that that's discolored. It's got some black on it. It may be blight, I don't know. But I've been doing this all year, and it seems to have put things off. There's 2 tomato plants in this container, and the reason that I put them both out here is because one of them didn't look very healthy when I planted it. I'm going to have to sharpen these. One of them didn't look very healthy when I planted it, and the other one looked okay. So I thought what I'd do is I'd put both of them in and see if one of them didn't make it. But they both did. And me being me, I didn't want to sacrifice one, so I just let them both stay in there, and they have really produced. I'll add it all up and put it on the screen how much weight in tomatoes we've had from this plant this year, because I've been keeping a log of the weight of everything that I'm harvesting. My husband found an old garden journal of his late father, and he wrote the weights of things down, like his courgettes and everything. So I thought, that's actually quite a good idea, because it gives you more of an idea of the yield, because you might have 6 courgettes, but if they're tiny, then you're not doing as well as you thought. You might have 3 really big courgettes, and there's fewer of them, but they're better. So that's kind of what I was thinking would be a good idea, would be to keep a log of the weight of everything that I'm harvesting this year. So I will put that. I'll put that number on the screen here so you can see how much we've already had of these tomatoes. We only had a few of the sun-gold tomatoes, so there's not going to be that much weight there. And these cherry tomatoes are small, like one of them may be about 7 or 8 grams. It's been feeding us. We've been putting them in salads, and we've been eating them on the side of the plate and stuff like that this year. And I'll definitely grow these again next year. They're really prolific. There's still new ones coming. Can you see here? There's flowers that are set. This is a good test for that microphone cover. The flowers have set here, and we've got little baby tomatoes there. Some little babies here. So it's still producing. As late as it is, it's still producing tomatoes. So I'm really happy. They're really doing well. So that, I think I've kind of cleaned that up a little bit. Maybe the odd one here and there, but I'll pick those off as we go. But that's going to do me here, and then we're going to go around to the corn plant and see if the corn's ready. So we're going to look at the corn and see if the corn is ready to harvest. The way that you tell that corn is ready to harvest is the silk on the top goes brown, and you give that a couple of days, and once that goes brown, you come out and you pull the husk apart and you find the kernels. You push your thumbnail into one of the kernels, and if it comes out a milky kind of a liquid, then you know it's ready to harvest. If it comes out clear, then it needs a few more days. So we're going to test it right now. I've tested it a few days ago and it wasn't ready. I'm going to test it now because I'm really anxious and I want this corn. So let's look at it. Okay, so here's the corn. See the tassels? All brown and really kind of crunchy. And this is where I pulled it apart the other day. Look at those gorgeous kernels. Oh my gosh, how amazing is that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that out of the way so you can see. I'm going to push this. Silk's in the way. I'll push that with my finger and see. Now I think that's still quite clear. I don't think that's ready to harvest. So we're going to leave it another few days and then we'll come out here and hopefully do that. But maybe the next video we'll have some corn to show you. So what I'm going to do is wrap that back up. I've got some twine inside that I'm going to just kind of tie around the edge here and keep that from the birds. But I'm not quite satisfied that that's ready to harvest yet, so we'll just leave it for now and hopefully come back in a few days. Okay, so we've cleaned up a couple of containers and we have pruned a tomato plant and we've checked the corn to see if it's ready. Not quite, almost that close, just that close. But hopefully next week we'll have some corn to show you. But that's all I've got for time for you this week. So until next time, take care, stay safe. Bye, y'all.